Salute everybody. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Let's get going. This is when spirituality and the game combined. You have the thinking class. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to all the brothers that are out there, all the sisters that are out there, everyone who's listening. Shout out to you, Apple Weezy. Good to see you. Let's get it going. Let me get my camera up. Let me get my brand up. And I want to explain some things. It's going to be happening in the future. Let me get my camera up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and transition. There we go. Salute to everyone that's here in the chat room. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Good to see everyone. Good to be here. Let's get going. I'm going to be sharing Learn How to Honor Yourself, Man. And I'm going to share this because it's very important on what we need to talk about for today. Friday, I don't think I'm going to be here. I have another funeral to go to. My God. But I want to definitely make sure I get this clearly across to the men, the importance of honoring yourself. And I think I did a bunch of videos about this, but I want to give some, I want to get some things together, some little housekeeping. We are going to be elevating the thinking class, and some things you'll see there's going to be changes in the whole layout. Everything that we do here in the thinking class is about to be changing. Everything I'm doing right now is dated. The graphics, everything like that. And I'm going to have a personal assistant come in, and we're going to scale and get this together. So bear with us as we begin to change the presentation of the thinking class. And you're going to see different types of videos that are geared towards what we're talking about. Some things I'm not going 2024. I think what I'm going to do is bring some videos back, go through the video collection. Oh, you got Mr. Davis. Oh yeah, we got Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, yeah, Mr. Davis. We're gonna go through, and we're going to do. I'm going to do some audio books or some audios where I'm going to get my assistants to go through. And like a lot of times people ask the same questions about game, about women, about life and things like that. What the assistant's going to do is go through that. We're going to create a presentation, and you can go for a nominal fee and get that particular teaching, because something I learned this week, and is applying about honor yourself as a man. And I want you really to get this. Good to see you, True Challenge Proof. One thing I learned this week is you got to teach where you are, not where you teach where you've been, and you teach where you are. And it's so important that I can talk about game to a blue in the face. And I've talked so much about game. I've talked so much about, women and dynamics and things like that, that I'm in a different place. And I don't want to cheat anybody else who's been coming to the thinking class and getting the level of game that I've been getting. But I have to be honest with myself and with you guys to say, hey, I'm in a different place. So all the stuff I know about game, I can't bring it up because I can give you some straight game about women and dynamics and things like that. But I realize I'm at a different place in my life and where I'm at, and I need to make the turn. And some people are not going to make the turn with me. I understand that. But I do have a vault of content between me and Jono and me and Pimp God and things like that, where we covered a lot about the female and male dynamic, the psychology of the game. We even I've constantly talked about what game is and what people say it is. I've done all of that. But once you realize as a person, I want you to get this about honoring yourself as a man, because I'm teaching right now. You got to honor where you at, what gives you life and what doesn't give you life. I can talk on game for days. I can go in for days about game, but I'm no longer there. I just did a post on Instagram, and it's been it went viral for the past 4 days. Crazy. Over one clip. And I got to realize what gives. This is the first thing I want you to get right here, as far as honor, learning to honor yourself as a man. We need some text game. I got you, brother. One of the things that you got to do, one of the first things to learn to honor yourself as a man, is you got to know what gives you life. Let me say that again. You got to be able to know what you're doing is giving you life. Camera's a little off for me. Let me help it out a little bit. You got to be able to find out, what are you doing? Is it giving you life, or are you just doing it because you know how to do it? Let me say that again, because I know that's something that a lot of guys don't talk about. They don't want to experience. You got to find out what is giving you life. Sometimes we do jobs, we deal with people, we deal with circumstances, we deal with cars, houses, and things like that. And it no longer gives us life. It no longer gives back to us. Now, we have mastered that level, but it no longer gives us life. You need to be doing things that give you life. What do I mean by giving you life? It when you give to it, it gives back to you. When you give to it, it gives back to you. So to honor yourself as a man, you got to be able to find things that gives you life. Many of y'all are stuck on with women, with cars, situation, jobs, places where you live at, and it's no longer giving you life. It's no longer giving you life. It's no longer serving you anymore. Every time you give something to it, it never returns. So you need to find out, to honor yourself as a man. What's going on? What's going on, Wade? Good to see you, brother. You got to find something that makes sure that is giving you life. And I realize in the advent of what I've been doing here on social media and on the thinking class, that I made a turn, and I didn't know it. I made the turn this summer when I began to travel more. And I realized that gives me life. Traveling and explaining, showing different places to go and things like that. That's all part of the game, but I realized that was giving me life. And that's why I'm saying the importance of me going back over the content. Yeah. There got to be a flow, like a river versus a dam. Very good point. And that's what I realized, that I got to honor me as LDA, as the thinking class. I got to write energy things. What am I doing? Is it giving me life? Is it flowing back to me? Is a giving and is a return? There has to be something that's giving and something in return. Now, granted, I understand that everybody wants the game. Show me about women. Show me about the car. Show me about this and about life and all like that. I'm going to say it again for those in the back of the room. I'm there, but I ain't there no more. Don't get mad at me if you see the content beginning to change. But what I will do, I will make some videos talking about and bringing up some of the things that we talked about previously, about game, about women, about different things that needs to be talked about. But I'm no longer there. That's how you begin to honor yourself. And a lot of guys don't know when the water has been shut off with any situation that they're in. You keep going and going and going, and it's not working. But if I go a little bit further, hopefully it'll work. Maybe things will turn around. Maybe I didn't give my all. I understand that side of it, but you got to also know when it's time. As Kenny Rogers said, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold. You got to know when to hold the cards and you got to know when to fold the cards. You got to know when life is saying, I need you to go here. Now, you may be proficient in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but it is M where you need to be at that gives you life. How do you find out something that honors you as a man? When you wake up in the morning and all you can think about is that. And I'm not talking about the kitty cat either. We always going to think about that. I'm talking about it's something that drives you, that gives you strength. And I had to be honest with myself. Be honest in the course of this year and the whole dynamic. And I had to say, you know what? I enjoy traveling. I enjoy talking to men and seeing them empowered to be the best version of themselves. I enjoy women coming along and saying, hey, thank you for explaining to us how men think and what they do. So you're not going to catch me talking about a bunch of that back and forth like on social media, like you see on Instagram. I am exhausted from Instagram, from course correcting people's comments on over one post. Tired. It's not giving me life. So learn to honor yourself as a man, as learning what things are giving you life and what things are not giving you life. The next thing is, as we talked about, is in order to honor yourself, you got to be able to say, you got to be able to tell some things, especially coming on this 2024, no, I can't do it anymore. I cannot do this anymore. When you honor yourself and say, nope, I ain't going there anymore. I'm not going there anymore. No. I'll show you this, but I can't do that anymore. I'm going a different direction. Most guys are afraid to honor themselves and give themselves permission to go a different direction. Most men and most people are afraid to give themselves permission to go a different direction. You have to give yourself permission to say, I am going a different direction. I'm no longer here. Can you say to yourself first and to everyone around you, no, I cannot help you anymore in that way. No, I'm no longer talking about that anymore. No, I am not going down the street, that street anymore. No, I'm going this way. Many times the reason why we're afraid to say no is because we're afraid if we do that we're going to lose some people. And a lot of times, let me be very clear because I'm going to keep it 100. You're afraid of the fallout or the confrontation that's going to take place. So you say, man, I'm just going to keep it, I don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers. I don't want to get nobody upset, you know what I'm saying? No, you need to ruffle the feathers. You need to say, no, you're not going to do that anymore. You're not going in that direction anymore. You're not traveling in that place anymore. Everyone is not going to congratulate you because you decided to go a different way. Get your big boy pants on, put your big boy hat on, put your whitey tighties on for all you whitey tighty wearers, and say, I am not going that direction anymore. I'm not doing that. Learn to honor yourself as a man. You got to be able to put your whitey tighties on and say, nope, I'm not going there anymore. I am not mad at any other content creators who have found what gives them lives and they stay in their particular lane. And they're growing in that lane. I just personally decided to honor you guys and to honor this platform and to honor what God has given me. I have to grow in a different place. I ain't gonna be talking about fitness now, I'll tell you that much. I'm still gonna lay some game in there, don't get me wrong. But I'm realized it's more of development. I'm gonna be talking more of the development of you being the best version of who you are. And that's bigger than kitty cat. That's bigger than getting a woman. That's bigger than all of that. That's why I always say gave true definitions of what game is. Strategies from point A to point B. Why? Because I want men to expand their mental palette. I want them to realize that there's more than life than what you see in your four corners of where you live at, or your four corners of your city, or the four corners of your family. There's a whole world. I want men, and I want you to get this. I want you to get this for everyone that's listening. I want men to graduate and to be global, to be men who are global minded. Y'all need to put that in the chat room. I want men to graduate. I want you to be global minded. Pick global minded in the chat room. Global minded. Global minded men. Global minded men. What is global mind? Thank you. Thank you. Global minded men. Global minded. Thank you. Global minded. Yes. Password brother. we can say you can call I don't I this is the thing. Right now, I'm all for the Password Brothers. But this is the thing, it has a certain and I agree with everything they're doing. But what we have to do is what is happening is the Password Brothers, bros have now got a certain stigma about them, which is what it is what it is. But I want you to be global minded. If anything, if we just say Password Brothers, we want to go into we want to go to blue book gentlemen. Blue book gentlemen. What is that? Blue book gentlemen. That means you're a man of a distinction. You're a man of regalness. You're a man of class. You're a man who knows how to get the right fork and what salad fork to eat with and how to cut his steak. That's global minded. You're not just confined. That's how you begin to honor yourself as a man. Too many of us, I got friends, and shout out to my friends I grew up with. They have never left St. Clair, Bone Thugs and Harmony. They never loved East 99th. They never loved East 99th. They never lost East 99th. They never left their neighborhood. They never left going to the same restaurant. They never went past going to the same bar. They they always deal with the same type of women. They never expanded their mental palette to have a global mindset or to be global minded. And so what happens is, because they never did that, they're not honoring themselves and they have stunted their growth. Their growth has been stunted or has been capped off, has been mutilated because they have not graduated to having a global mindset or even honoring themselves. I think of one person who's from the neighborhood I'm from. Y'all all know him. I'm going to say his name. You can tell him, you can tag him and say I said his name. He knew my brother. His name is Rich Paul. Anybody who knows what Rich Paul is, he is LeBron James' agent. He's from the same neighborhood I'm from. Same exact neighborhood. My brother knew him. Just that's all I'm going to say. They know each other. Rich Paul. Rich Paul ended up getting a break, going to Cleveland State University, and getting himself together. Whatever the case may be, the ball or roll, he ended up getting connected and became crazy. Mark from my neighborhood. See, he ended up going to Cleveland State, blah, 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 connecting, the whole story, him getting connected with LeBron and LeBron putting him on and things like that. Him becoming an agent and things like that. But I want you to understand something. What if he would have stayed on St. Clair, still doing what he was doing, gambling, part of the gambling places down there? You would never know a Rich Paul. You would never know who he was. Rich Paul recently took Adele and drove where he used to be at and where he used to roll over on St. Clair near 117th, since everybody know, I'm gonna throw it up. 117, 118, 116, 105, East 99, all of those areas. So he can remember where he came. He showed her where he came from. But he also was grateful for where he was going or where he's at now. How he was able to get himself out of the mentality of just being the neighborhood and going to having a mentality and have a global mindset. And I honor Rich Paul for doing that, because he didn't get stuck on St. Clair Boulevard. He didn't get stuck on 117th and Gray. I'm not against any of my brothers over there. I know I'm over there. Hey, shout out. I love you. But I want you to get this. He learned to honor himself, and he learned to say, I can have better and I can have more. So how are you as a man going to approach 2024 and really honor yourself and say, there's more for me? Some of y'all need, and I'm going to say it again. I want you to hammer this down, really get this. Get this. Honor yourself as a man. Honor yourself as a man. And let me say this next third point. Do not allow anyone to dishonor you as a man. Y'all may need to think about that one. How many minutes I got? Oh, I got a couple more minutes. Do not allow anyone to dishonor you as a man. I don't care. Do not allow anyone. You don't need to fight and you don't need to argue with anyone, but you will not tolerate anyone dishonor you as a man. I'm talking to you, brother. I'm talking to you. Do not allow anyone to dishonor you as a man. You don't need to argue with anyone. You don't need to prove your point. You need to just say, I do not tolerate that. A lot of you guys have never stand on your 10 toes down and let your balls hang down low and let people know you will not dishonor me. I will not tolerate you talking to me that way, nor would I allow you to treat me any kind of way. When you do that, the world will begin to open up for you. If this is resonating with you, let me know in the chat room if this is resonating with you. If this is resonating with you. If you're getting what I'm picking up, what I'm getting up, what I'm putting down. Thank you so much. We train people on how to treat us. We've been saying this for all the time on the thinking class. Thank you. And the reason seems nominal, but I got to say this because Wade, you see my Instagram that post. It was completely wild, complete freak show on what was going on there. And a lot of times men never say anything because they don't want to rock the boat. A lot of men don't want to say anything because they don't want to rock the boat. Well, I'm here to say, because somebody asked, you're going to stir it up. I'm here to say you need to rock some boats. You need to let some people jump out the boat because they don't deserve to be in your boat. Do not allow anyone to dishonor you. We in this country have been trained to look at men only as tools, only as workforce labor, emotional labor, and not as human beings. Most of you guys, one of the reasons why a lot of health issues, you're balding and I'm bald, a lot of other health ailments is because we take so much stuff in and we never express it out, and we have become the workhorse of this country and of our community. People do not really care about you. But once you put people on notice and no, not in my neighborhood, not in my house, not the way you talking to me. And you got to have a cutoff spirit. Cut them, cut. Don't deal with them anymore. It has to be that crucial, because when you have that high standard of how you're supposed to be treated, people got to come correct, or they got to go. So I want you to really get that. Learn to honor yourself as a man and learn that you need to make sure other people honor you. I'm not saying for you to argue with people. That's too much emotional labor. I'm not telling you to fuss with people. Too much emotional labor. I'm not even telling you to fight with people. Too much emotional labor. The biggest thing that you can do is walk away. Watch what happens when you just walk away in silence. I'll give you a story. My sons were younger, and mother had called me because they were fighting each other. They were going back and forth. They was going back and forth. They was fighting in the house. Two different types of personalities. So they fighting. So I said, okay, no problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over after work. Don't tell them I'm coming. Don't tell my sons I'm coming there. So I eased up. They had their room up on the third floor that was finished. So I eased up there, and it was dark, and they were in the bed sleeping. And what I did was I got a chair, and they still didn't hear me. I'm like, how you not hear me? I must have been really quiet. And I didn't turn the light on. And I waited, and I karate chopped them in their sleep. I mean, karate chopped them in their sleep. Dad, why are you doing that? But I didn't, with this the catch. I didn't argue with them. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't even yell. I talked just like this. I said, if you guys fight again, you will see me. And it's not going to be nice. I will find you at school. I will take everything away from you. And you will not know what happened to you. Do you understand me? Yes, Daddy. I'm sorry. I did it again. Now shake your brother's hand and go to sleep. And I walked and left and got in my car and left. I want you to get what I did. They were more afraid of my calmness and my matter of factness of my voice and my tone than if I was yelling. Because when someone is calm, collect, and is not emotional, you don't know what bag they're going to come out of. The reason why I say that, when people try to dishonor you, try to belittle you, or in the words of Kevin Samuels, they try to shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. Sign language. You don't argue with them. You just smile and walk away and said, don't do that again. Yeah, they recognize that patient voice. Yeah, but they also know behind that patient voice, I will kick their you know what. It's not the person that yells the most that you need to be afraid of. It's the person who's very quiet, who's unassuming, that you need to be scared of. All those people yelling, I can do this, I can do that, and I'm on. Yeah, I'm all that, and I can do this. Honor yourself, men. Don't even go there. Just simply get quiet and just walk away and actually say, you know what? You're right. When you do that, you're disarming them. They don't know what bag you're going to come out of, and they don't know what to do. Honor yourself enough, and this is my last point, to not give your emotional labor to people who are not going to return it. It goes back to number one, but you reframe it a different way. What I mean by emotional labor, you're giving your energy and you're getting nothing in return. Do not give your emotional labor to women, situations, things that's not going to bring you back a return. It's not your job to fix it. It's not your job to try to correct it. Don't give your emotional labor to things that's not going to give you a return. Too many of you guys have doing so much emotional labor, and you are emotionally bankrupt. Let me say that again. Too many of you guys are doing a bunch of emotional labor and you are emotionally bankrupt. I didn't check some of y'all bank accounts. It is on empty or in the red. It's not in the black, it's in the red because you have drained your emotional bank account to the point with dealing with people, dealing with situations, dealing with that, dealing with this situation, the dog did this, that you are emotionally bankrupt. Honor yourself to go and do things that replenish you. Some of y'all need to go and treat yourself for the holiday. Some of y'all need to go on that vacation. Some of y'all need to change jobs. Some of y'all need to go out the country. Some of y'all need to deal with some other women. Some of y'all need to get yourself a nice outfit. You need to replenish yourself. Honor yourself enough to replenish yourself because your well is dry. You didn't gave out all this year and you're emotionally bankrupt. Give back to yourself. This is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. Thank you for joining me today. Go back and listen to what I said today. I'm not going to go any further. I want to make sure Friday, I'm gonna try to come up live, but I have to go to a funeral of the young man who passed away that worked with me, 50 years old, died in his sleep. Crazy. So I'm gonna try to get him up a Friday, but I want to make sure I get everybody on the same page. Gail, good to see you. I will be changing the thinking class. I will be changing the thinking class so you'll understand that I'm not going to be talking about these women. I'm not going to be talking about game that much. We're going in a whole new direction. You're going to see the personal assistant comes in and actually get some things together. You see some videos have been pulled. You're seeing that we're going into a different direction because I want men to grow. I want women to grow, but I also know that I have grown from last year. And what I have to share right now is at a different level. And I cannot just stick on just talking on game. No 304s, no 304s. If you want 304, now I will be doing some products that will be talking about those things about game and things like that. But I want to make sure everybody's on the same page that I'm no longer there. I don't got time to be talking about the drama, all that. My Instagram over 20K views on one video is showing me enough right there. I'm good. So thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for watching the thinking class. Thank you for participating. As you know, with this music, and we're going to be redoing this everything's going to be redone over. Everything needs a makeover. So we'll be doing the music over, the whole introduction. Everything's going to be open. No Will and Jada. No Chris Rock. No. You might throw in some things that are current things that are out, but those stuff sounds good. It's salacious. It's clickbait, but at the end of the day, I want men to grow. Thank you so much, Gail. We's out of here. Peace.
Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it, 'cause I can give you what you need. I'll be your fantasy. I got you. Tell me what you want, babe, then come get it. Tell me what you want, babe, you'll get it. Man, don't forget it, babe, and you'll get it. Man, don't forget it, babe, and you'll get it. Man, don't forget it.
Convince them.
You'll get it. Don't forget it.
Yes. Yeah.
Mary,
Yeah.
can you get, I got words for you.
Huh?
Steve Golden is saying on Facebook's husbands, if you really want to please your wife, go light on all the expensive Bath and Body Works candles at the same time to give your home an awesome aroma. I think she'll love you for it. Follow me for more relationship advice, right?
Yeah.
So then Carlton Yago chimes in. First,
I know Steve was being funny. He wasn't being serious when he said that. That's why he says, see me for more relationship, he's being funny. It's a joke. That's his cousin. That's his cousin. Their family some kind of way. Yeah, that's so. Steve was just right. When I read it, I said, when you put that last comment, though, I'm only doing this to get cheap for more relationship. He was being funny. I knew it right then. Yeah, but y'all want to go to Jesus. I tell you, people try to be deep for no reason.
you gotta make certain distinctions and stuff.
I know these. That's why I'm tired of these.
I don't have any comment. Okay, so the last thing is, I kind of forgot what I was going to even say.